Welcome into KSU Nation, the best K-State and Big 12 podcast out there. I'm Stevie B.
And I'm Kenny G.
And in today's episode, we're going to be breaking down K-State versus Cincinnati on Senior Day, 7 p.m. at Bill Snyder Family Stadium. Before we do that, though, we're also going to do Big 12 Week 13 picks. We're going to do a new game, and we're also going to do the Big 12 title generator. There's like this website we can use. Anyways, we'll get to it later. Kenny, we are so close to 1,000 subs. I think we are 35 away, dude.
34, as I checked just 2 seconds ago. We have 966. We just need 34 more. Man, it's so close. We can taste it. I think we say this every single episode, but we are inching very close until we get that 1,000 sub milestone. It would be really, really awesome if you are watching right now and you realize that you are not subscribed. Please go ahead and just take a look. We are the fastest growing K-State and Big 12 podcast out there, and that's due to you guys showing up, subscribing, watching the show. We know you love the show because we keep it 100 in this biz. We keep it 100.
Oh my God, we're already getting into that. Really quickly, we want to say a big thank you to Tim Fitzgerald for having us on last night on the Big 12 Insiders or K-State Insiders on his Go Power Cat YouTube. Kenny,
dude, that was so much fun.
It was
just being a part of something that you and we've been listening to Tim Fitz and his podcast, his shows for a while now. You even worked for him at one point. So to just be amongst them and be able to kind of talk K-State and just have really good content come out of that was really fun. And we had like a pretty unique setup here. Both of us came over to my house and set up and let us know when you watch the show. Let us know if you like that setup, because Stevie and I were thinking about maybe doing a couple more shows like that. Maybe when we do our live reaction to whatever show we want to do, when we maybe watch like the last K-State game of the season, we'll probably do that setup. Who knows? But I just want to say thank you, Fitz, so much. We'd love to come back on your show if you're watching. We'd love to come back on your show and do another guest appearance. We had a good time. So
we did.
Yeah.
100% we did. So let's get right into our K-State Cincinnati preview here. K-State 7-3 and Cincinnati's 5-5. I think K-State's favored by like 8.5. We'll do our initial thoughts right now. I'm just going to say K-State's not played very good for a month. I mean, they have not. Every issue that K-State's had really feels like it's mental. I mean, we have receivers dropping balls. We got touchdowns being called back because of legal man downfield. We're leaving dudes wide open. We're not, containing the quarterback. The OC, Connor Riley, has not had a good game plan for 3 games in a row. K-State scored 3 points combined in the first quarter. The last 3 games, that's all on the OC not having a good game plan. And you said it, recently, there's still a lot to play for. I'm locked in, man. I'm over the fact that K-State's probably not going to make the Big 12 championship game. And I do agree with you. It is not a moral victory. I mean, I was saying it a couple days ago, there is still a lot to play for. K-State can get 9 or 10 wins. And that's pretty good. And if K-State wins these next 2 games and wins a bowl game, that's a lot of momentum going into next year. And as you said for a long time, 2025 is the year of the K-State Wildcats. And, of course, I'm upset with how K-State's played the last month, but I have faith that K-State's going to come out and play pretty well against Cincinnati on Saturday. Kenny, what are your initial thoughts on K-State Cincinnati this Saturday?
I mean, to chalk up this season, I guess you can kind of put it in like a pretty quick phrase of, it was fun until it wasn't. It was fun until it wasn't. And, I feel bad for the Cats because we had every opportunity to win out and to make a title match, but obviously that is out of reach. And looking forward to this game, all you have to do is just play well. At this point, the K-State fans, they are well aware that the title is it's not within reach. And we just don't want a team to come out flat. We don't want a team to come out with no enthusiasm, no effort, nothing. Listen, the games that we lost against BYU, Houston, Arizona State at this point, if we would have just if it was like this team was like delivered a punch and then we delivered a punch and they delivered a punch and then it was just like back and forth, really good games, and then we just ended up falling short, that's one thing. But when we don't even come out like we want to play, like we want to actually play football on the field, that's when fans are not going to put up with it. And it's going to be a disaster if that's what happens this Saturday. If K-State comes out and they don't want to play, they're all moping around like a ho-hum, like our season's over. There's still a lot to play for. You have one last game for these seniors that have been here since the beginning of the Kleiman era, and you want to play for those seniors. You want to have them have a good send-off for them. They deserve it. A lot of those guys were part of the Big 12 championship team. You want to send them off right. And I think the K-State team or the football players owe it to them for sticking around when they didn't have to, for being with K-State this whole time, and giving all the effort they have. And so we just want to see them come out, play well, play hard, and just leave it all on the field. Do not do what we did last year with Iowa State. That is not how you want to end your season.
That cannot happen. That cannot happen again. It cannot.
Especially since we lost back-to-back games. It's time to just look, the pressure's off, and you just need to play loose and just go out and give it your all. There's nothing else to lose. There's nothing else to lose at this point. So just go out there and freaking play your asses off. I mean, that's all you got to do. And the fans are going to respect that. They're going to get behind that regardless of the win or loss column. You're like, yeah, it'll suck if we lose. But if we go out and we just play our asses off and we make it a really exciting game, as a K-State fan,
K-State needs to win this game. K-State needs to win this game.
They need to win. No doubt about it. This is not their case. The amount of talent that's on this K-State roster far exceeds what's going on in Cincinnati. We need to win this game. We know there's some injuries from last week. We don't know the updates on that. We're hoping that Dylan's back. We're hoping that Keegan's back. We're hoping that Jaden Jackson's back. But we still have more weapons. We saw Dante Cephas actually know how to catch a ball. Trey Spivey, he's actually pretty good as a young guy. Let's throw these guys in. If they're willing to step up and put the effort in, freaking put them in. You know what I mean?
Yep, I do. So, I want to list off a couple seniors, not all of them, but a handful here, maybe actually a couple handfuls that deserve some credit, specifically from us. Uso, Will Swanson, Carver Willis, Easton Kilty, Taylor Potier, Bo Palmer, Hadley Panzer, Cody Steffelbein, Austin Moore, Brendan Mott, Marquis Siegel, Chris Tennant, Dante Cephas, Nikendre Steiger, Ty Bowman, Jordan Riley, Taquan Roberson, Justice James, Keenan Garber, Jaden Jackson. Those guys, those are all seniors. Most of them have spent a majority of their career at K-State. They've meant a lot to K-State. They've meant a lot to this season, and hopefully K-State can go out the right way. Let's go ahead and get right into our stats here. So every single week I create a graphic that puts up, where K-State versus Cincinnati or whoever they're playing ranks in terms of their offense, defense, special teams. Let's take a look. This is a stats breakdown. And as you look at this, anything gray means they have just a 1, 2, or 3 spot difference. So there's basically no advantage there. The color means they have the advantage, and the darker color means they have a distinct advantage, meaning at least a 50 spot difference there. Kenny, looks like K-State's got the advantage all around, specifically on offense there. Total offense, K-State's got a pretty nice advantage, but the rush offense, even though they have a distinct advantage, man, the rush offense has got to get going if K-State wants to win this game. Because when K-State's winning, they're being able to rush the football, and they've not done that for what feels like forever, man.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've done this a number of times, and K-State over the last 2 weeks has had huge advantages, and we have managed to lose despite the fact that we are extreme favorites. And when you look at this, you're like, okay, again, how is K-State going to lose this game when we have a overwhelming advantage on both sides of the ball? And that should give you some confidence. We're coming in, we're playing at home. We've got an advantage over this team. Cincinnati, if I'm not mistaken, let me just take a look really fast. Cincinnati is coming off of a 3-game loss streak. So last game they won was when they played Arizona State at home. But they since then have lost to Colorado, West Virginia, and Iowa State. And we could potentially be a team that has beaten all those other teams. We've already beaten Colorado, we've already beaten West Virginia, and we play Iowa State next week. So Cincinnati lost to all those teams. So we should be able to at least make it a win. I don't know how dominant this win's going to be, but I at least have K-State winning.
I agree. I think K-State has got to figure out how to run the football, get more creative, come out with a better game plan, because whatever game plan K-State's had the last 3-4 games has not been working at all. And honestly, it really hasn't worked that well overall this whole season, if you break it down overall for Connor Riley versus Colin Klein. Defensively, I feel like K-State has got to keep pressuring a quarterback. I know Sorsby is a good quarterback. There's no way he's as good as Sam Levitt. So keep pressuring a quarterback, keep stuffing the run, and hopefully some of these teams start turning the ball over, because if K-State can get some turnovers and get a lead early, it's going to get the fans back in it, because I feel like K-State just needs a couple things to go right to get their swagger back, because it feels like right now K-State has no swagger at all.
Yeah, they need to come out. They need to come out hot. And I think defensively, K-State has been pretty consistent. They're a solid defensive team, and that, I mean, there's just one area that sticks out like a sore thumb, and that's the secondary. Our safeties are really bad, but our front seven is very decent. And hats off to our linebacking core, probably one of the best in the Big 12, if not the best linebacking core in the Big 12. But it doesn't matter, because all these teams they figured out how to do really good. They have figured out how to scheme against us with their passing offense, and we just don't know how to respond with that, because we don't have the dudes that can play well. And I don't know if it's really the dudes or the talent, or I don't know, or it's just the coaching is not good on it. I can't figure out, and the coaches obviously they haven't been able to figure it out either. So nobody knows what the problem is. I mean, every time they get asked a question, like, what's causing this, every response is the same. It's always, well, yeah, we got to figure it out. That's something that we got to really look at. It's like, you're at week 13, like something you got to look at. What do you mean? It's almost over. Like, the time to get back to fundamentals. What are you talking about? That's something that you do in spring league. That's something that you do in the first couple weeks. You don't figure out the fundamentals at week 13.
I agree, man. You must be referring to the interview of Jack Fabris earlier this week. I guess it was yesterday. Yeah, I mean, they asked him why the DBs have been not very good, and he goes, "Well, we'll have to figure it out," and he didn't really like what?
What do you mean we have to figure it out?
Like, basically,
it's almost over.
K-State's DBs just aren't good. I mean, Jacob Parrish is good, and VJ Payne is good. Everyone else has been a real big issue, specifically Jordan Riley. I know I keep saying his name. He's been awful all year. The other quarterback spot has not been good either. So, yeah, I mean, basically, just don't throw to Jacob Parrish or VJ Payne. He should be just fine. And honestly, even Jacob Parrish is getting burned last week. So it's been the DBs overall defensively. It's been an issue, man. It really has.
But he has like the weight of the world on his shoulders. I mean, he has yes, like I think that he can handle it, but it's just he has to basically carry that secondary all by himself. He has no help behind him whatsoever. And so it is what it is. Yeah, VJ Payne, young guy. Okay. He's coming back next year. You hope. And Jacob Parrish, young. I mean, he's a junior. I hope to see him back next year in his senior year. I think that we can improve. We need to definitely do better job of scouting and recruiting next year for sure. That we fell on our face with our recruits. Our transfer portal picks have not been good this year. K-State's recruiting room or recruiting staff needs to do a way better job than they've been doing. So I'll say that. I don't want to talk too much about the offense anymore and the defense anymore. What really needs to happen is our goddamn special teams. For the love of God, can we find somebody who could snap the damn ball, please? Please.
I agree, man. I mean, there's no reason at all K-State should be struggling to snap a football 8 yards. No
We're
reason
at week
at all.
13. We are at week 13.
It's terrible, dude. It is terrible. And
this is not the first or second week of the freaking season.
4 times this has happened in the last 2 games. I do not know what the hell's going on, man. Yeah, special teams has got to get back to being special. K-State's been special teams and they've not looked special recently, man. They really have not, man.
We came out freaking popping off on special teams. Dylan with a freaking touchdown, return touchdown, a blocked punt for a scoop and score. It's like, oh my God, where was that? We need to get back to that. I mean, how do we not? It went from that, Steve, to not being able to make a field goal for 4 games in a row, or four attempts in 2 games.
K-State got to the 3-yard line and couldn't score. They got to the 3-yard line and did not score because they had bad play calls, and then they couldn't snap a football. That cannot happen, dude. That cannot happen.
So the offense do better. Defense, please just rush the damn quarterback, and special teams, just please snap the ball. And then I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay after that.
Just honestly, K-State just has got to get over the thing they're dealing with right now, because it's been all mental right now. It really has. Half this game is mental. Yes, Kobe McAllister and Jack Fabris over Jordan Riley. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Jack Fabris, I'm a fan of his. I mean, I know he's a young guy, but I think he's got a bright future. T. Nelly, the play calling has been abysmal. Yeah, T. Nelly, I agree.
I agree.
You're not going to find any disagreements over here. And then Austin Patman again, running up the middle. Connor Riley, best play. Oh, you mean the only play? You mean the only play?
For real, dude. For real.
First play of the game after 2 weeks of being, 2 weeks of being off. What do? We run DJ up the middle. Who would have saw that coming?
Who saw that coming? Yeah, I agree.
Literally every single coach, even a freaking Pee-wee coach, could see that coming.
Play calls have to be better, but really the O-line has to be better. The DBs have to be better. The OC has to be better, and the special teams have to be better. That's a lot. That's a lot to fix.
Wow,
that's a lot to fix. But K-State's got to do it, because they've got to get some momentum going into next year. Like you said, 2025 is the year of K-State.
Absolutely.
Let's get into our K-State versus Cincinnati game picks and our hot takes. Let's take a look at the graphic created by collegefootballinsiders.com. It has K-State winning essentially 66% of the time with a projected score of 30-25, essentially a 5-point spread, even though K-State is favored by 8 to 8.5. You want blue, specifically dark blue. The only red for K-State is really their field position. And it feels like K-State loses a field position battle every single game. Very frustrating. Kenny, you and I were kind of asked this last night in Go PowerCat, but what is your score prediction for K-State Cincinnati, 7 p.m. Bill Snyder Family Stadium?
Yeah, I mean, my score prediction last night when I was on Go PowerCat was 35 to 24. I think that's pretty solid. I think K-State is more than capable of getting 5 touchdowns. And I think that they can hold. Honestly, I think they can hold Cincinnati to under 20. But if Cincinnati has any tools to throw to their freaking receivers, throw at the safeties, I mean, we can't stop that. So I'm going to just give Cincinnati a little bit more love and give them 24 points. But K-State has the capabilities of making it less than 20, and they ought to. But it all matters on how they come out. If they come out flat, then it ain't going to be under 20. I'll tell you that.
I agree. I agree with everything you said. I got K-State winning 31-21. I said last night 10 to 14 points. I think 10 is right about right. If K-State comes out flat, I could see them losing this game, though. I'm not going to lie. K-State's been really bad in the last month, like we've said. So hopefully K-State comes out with some fire. I saw some fire from Chris Kleiman this week for the first time in a month. In K-State, all the players always feed off their coach, and hopefully they start doing it this week because the players did not look good, but he looked like it finally had some fire. Kenny, let's get into our hot takes. Let them know about what it is, and then give your hot takes.
Yep. So this is more of like we're going to get specifically called, like make a specific call in the game, like Avery Johnson runs for 400 yards or something like that. That's not going to happen, but it's some hot take for that. So my hot take this week, I've got DJ finally after an entire season. Last home game, he gets over 200 rushing yards. We don't know the status of Dylan Edwards. If Dylan is not able to play, and look, he was already not getting many touches as is, and if he's already hurt, or if he is able to play but he's not 100%, he'll maybe play a couple snaps here and there. I think DJ is going to take the brunt of the load there, and I think DJ could probably finally get over 200 yards a game on the ground. And I'll save my defensive. My defensive hot take is going to be that Jacob Parrish gets an interception.
I dig it. Mine are way less big. I know that sounds really stupid to say. Sorry. I have K-State with one or zero turnovers on offense. That's how much. That's it. That's my hot take because K-State's been turning it over a lot lately. They really have. Defensively, I think K-State gets 3 sacks in a game. I think K-State gets 3 sacks in a game with 2 coming from the D-line and 1 from the linebackers. So
I love how your offensive hot take was basically a backhanded compliment. Kind of like, I hope they get 1 or less turnovers.
I mean, K-State is 0-3 when Avery Johnson turns the ball over 2 or more times, and K-State's turned it over multiple times the last couple games. So, and honestly, I think if you go back to the last game, all the turnovers plus the missed field goals plus the turnover on downs, I think K-State turned it over 6 times against Arizona State. So that cannot happen. That cannot happen.
I agree.
Should we get into
that's the K-State hot takes for this week. I want the Cats to win, and I hope they win big. And we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yep. Should we get into our Big 12 Week 13 picks? Some big games happening, and we're gonna do that. And then if you are watching this on the rewind, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and tell your friends, and check out our other videos as well. Let's go and check it out here for Week 13. Here we go. First game up, we just got talking about it. Got done talking about it in our main podcast. K-State at home against Cincinnati. This ranking is not right. That's last week's ranking. We're recording this on a Tuesday. I have K-State winning 31-21 with only 1 turnover on offense. Defensively, I have K-State with 3 sacks. Kenny, let them know your score prediction, your hot takes as well.
Yep, my score prediction was 35-24, and I have DJ Giddens finally rushing for over 200 yards on the last home game of the season, and I've got Jacob Parrish with a little interception.
I love it. Moving on here. A couple of teams right in the middle of the pack. TCU at home against Arizona. 2:00 on Saturday. TCU favored by 12. Over under 58.5. I got to take the over here. I'm going to go TCU wins 42 to 24. I don't know. This feels right. Feels right. So that's covering a 12 and hitting the over as well. Kenny, what do you got?
Yeah, I've got TCU winning here. I think Arizona, they got a good win against Houston. I don't know if that's just, Houston having to travel, didn't look good after that win against K-State or whatever the case. But like in the last few games, Arizona has not been good offensively. They're going against TCU. I don't know what to say about TCU. I mean, they're kind of like good one week, bad one week, good one week. They're all over the place for me. I've got TCU winning though. We'll go 35 Arizona. I'm sorry, Arizona fans, but I think you're probably going to end up going back down to under 20 points this game. 14 for me. 35-14.
Ooh, I dig it. Moving on. This is the game of the week in the Big 12. It feels like a elimination game, Kenny. BYU at Arizona State. The home team is favored by 3, over under 48.5. If BYU loses this game, I think they are out of the Big 12 title game, because not only would they lose a head-to-head to Arizona State, they will also lose a tiebreaker because Arizona State beat KU. What just happened last week? BYU lost to KU. I've been saying for a long time, BYU is going to lose this game. I've said it for weeks now. I'm sticking with it. I got Arizona State winning 28-17. 2-score win.
So I went through the comments and I saw a comment that somebody actually went back and watched every single video to see my pick ratio for BYU. And before the Kansas game, I was 6-3. And I picked Kansas to win. So now I'm 7-3 on my BYU picks. And there's a lot of things to say here. One of the things that Stevie always has been preaching the entire year is that teams respond better after a loss. And Arizona State just walked into Manhattan, Kansas, got a huge win. They're really high. They're like they're extremely pumped. They're like looking for this. And what did BYU do? They lost their perfect season to KU in a dramatic way. BYU is going to be pissed off. They're going to want to get back on track. I think BYU wins this game. It's going to be just like every other game. BYU's games are going to be close. Arizona's definitely going to be fighting in this game, but I think BYU comes out with the win. I got BYU winning 30-28.
That's interesting. You're 70% on their picks. I don't know what I am picking BYU games, but it's not good. It's not good. And I picked against them several times. I think I picked against them against SMU. I picked against them against K-State. Picked against Baylor. There was one other game as well. And they're 9-1. And, shout out to them. They have to win this game. I just want to say one more thing about this game before we move on. BYU has really struggled defending the running backs, defending the rush offense. And what does ASU have? They got a 1,000-yard back in Cam Scatterbu. That guy's really good. I mean, K-State shut him down, and Sam Levitt did the rest. But, man, I feel like this is a breakout game, another breakout game, because he's had a bunch this year. Another breakout game for Cam Scatterbu. That place is going to be rocking. I don't think they've lost at home at all this season. In fact, I know they haven't. They lost at Texas Tech and they lost at Cincinnati. I just don't know how you can pick BYU right now. They scored 13 points on offense last week. We had all these comments from BYU fans saying they don't lose focus regardless of who they're playing. Well, they look like they lost focus to me, and they've not been playing very well for a long time. They haven't. They kind of look like they're K-State right now. Just haven't been looking good for a long time. They got lucky against Oklahoma State. They got lucky against a few other teams. I have Arizona State winning by double digits, man, and I think Cam Scatterby is going to have a couple touchdowns. Moving on.
All right. If that wasn't the game of the week, this definitely is also game of the week. Kansas, the freaking giant killers. They're going to be, they took out Iowa State. They took out BYU. Now they're staring down the barrel of Colorado and then a rising Baylor after this game. So Kansas, this is going to be insane. I don't have a dog in this anymore. I basically accepted that K-State's out of it, regardless of technically they're in it if Kansas wins, but there's a whole lot of other things that need to happen. Even if Kansas beats Colorado, I do not think that Kansas is going to beat Colorado here. I've got Colorado winning, despite the fact that if they beat Colorado and all the other things in the universe line up correctly, then K-State can still make the the Big 12 title game. I still have Kansas losing this game. Colorado is going to come in. I got them winning 35-33.
I've been saying all week that I'm going to pick Colorado to win this game, and I am. I do think there's a very good chance that KU could win this game. I mean, the spread is just 2.5 points for Colorado, over under 59.5. I feel like you got to hit that over. I am going to pick Colorado to win this game, but I do not feel great about it because KU's playing really good right now. You called them giant killers for a reason. They beat Iowa State. They beat BYU. They have two really good corners, like you said, a good running back, a good quarterback. They're playing really well right now. They have a lot to play for. They want to get to a bowl game. I got Colorado winning 38-31, high-scoring game. I think Colorado is going to score the game-winning touchdown with 2 minutes left in the game. And then their defense is finally going to do them a solid and get a stop against KU. They're going to be 9-2, 7-1 in the Big 12, and basically guarantee a spot in the conference title game. Colorado's winning this game, Kenny, like we both said. So moving on. Texas Tech, Oklahoma State. At Oklahoma State, I don't care about this game. Texas Tech wins. I don't care. 31-28.
Yep. I'll just to save time and to save my breath, I'll just agree.
Okay, moving on. Another game I just do not care about. West Virginia versus UCF. UCF made a change of quarterback. West Virginia is trying to save their head coach. West Virginia 35, UCF 28.
Ooh, yeah, this is kind of sneaky. What West Virginia does really well is comes against what UCF wants to do. So West Virginia is really good at stopping the run, and UCF is really good, or that's what they want to do is run. I think it's a bad matchup for UCF. I think you're correct, Steve. I think West Virginia wins. We'll go 34 or 35. I don't know. 35-21.
Okay, so we're only off by one touchdown. Sneaky game here. Baylor versus Houston. Baylor's looking like a top 5 team. Houston had been playing better until they got their butts beat in Tucson. I got Baylor winning this game. It's going to be lower scoring, 24-14, which is not a score I want to say after K-State just lost, but Baylor wins 24-14, hitting the under, but covering the spread.
Dude, I don't know how you can. I don't know how you can pick against Baylor in this game. They have won the last 4 games in dominant fashion, and they just look like they're kind of like flying under the radar. A lot of people aren't talking about this team. because of how they started off. But them in KU, that they're going to meet next week, but they both are just they're winning games, and I don't think people are putting enough recognition on that. I've got Baylor winning. I think they're going to win 41. Houston maybe 14, 21. We'll say 14.
Dude, do you think that Houston's defense is going to give up 41? No way. No chance.
Baylor's popping off, man.
They are popping off. But no way. No way. Last game of the week, 6:30 on Fox. Iowa State.
Stevie's doubting me, man.
Iowa State at Utah. This is a big game for Iowa State. They cannot be looking past Utah, because if BYU loses, there's a real chance Iowa State can get into the Big 12 championship game. There's a real chance that they can get there. Check out our other video we're going to do, breaking down the Big 12 title chances. But I got Iowa State winning a closer than expected game, 24-20 at Utah. Utah's defense is going to do a lot better than they did last week, but still hitting the over. Man, the over-under is only 41.5. Wow. Yeah, Iowa State wins 24-20.
Yeah, man. Look, both Colorado and BYU, if they take care of business, if Utah beats Iowa State, that's it. There's nothing else that needs to happen in the next week. The Big 12 championship game is Colorado versus BYU. That's just what happens. So if Utah does come out and beat Iowa State, and Colorado beats KU and BYU beats Arizona State, there's our Big 12 title match in Arlington. However, I think Iowa State is playing really well defensively. They're going against one of the worst quarterbacks in the Big 12, and it's no offense to him. He's a freshman. He stepped into the spotlight way too early. He's not developed at all. And I feel bad for him, but it is what it is. Utah did not do a good job of creating depth for their quarterback room. And so, it's unfortunate, but I do have Iowa State beating Utah here. Iowa State hasn't been putting up a lot of points, but I'll give them. I want to go out and say I'm going to give them 30. I want to give Utah maybe 14. You're muted there a little bit, Steve.
Ooh, I dig it. I dig it, man. I love it. Love it.
Right.
And that's a Big 12 picks for week 13, Kenny.
That's right.
Kenny said Pop-Tarts Bowl. Do you still feel the same way?
I don't know. I mean,
I don't really care.
I don't even care. I really don't care. K-State had their aspirations for a Big 12 title game this season. And since that is no longer, it's technically within reach, but we've basically sawed off our arm. So it's kind of like out of reach for us. We're not going to be able to get to that point unless all the stars align. And I think we're going to go over that right now, Steve, unless you want to do something else.
Do you want to do that, or do you want to do the game?
We could just do quickly the scenarios of how K-State can get in.
Okay.
Since this is KSU Nation, and if you guys want to, you can do your own research and figure out all the different ways that you want to do that. But there is a way. There are a couple fun ways of how K-State could potentially, and it's not like out of the question, given the Big 12 is completely chaotic. But the most likely scenario is that it's probably going to be.
Wait. Let me pull it up.
Oh, okay.
Here it is. We have to figure out a way to get K-State to the Big 12 title game. So
right.
There's
two ways. I actually saved the two scenarios on my phone. I screenshotted it.
Okay, tell me what to pick here.
Okay, so I'll do the craziest scenario first, right? The craziest scenario is that there is 7 teams that end up 6-3. 7 teams in which there are 6-3 record teams, and that is Arizona beats BYU this week.
Okay.
Baylor beats Houston. Kansas beats Colorado. K-State beats Cincinnati. Texas Tech beats Oklahoma State. TCU beats Arizona. Iowa State beats Utah. West Virginia beats UCF, right?
Okay, that's not like out of the realm of possibility. But then the last week, that I feel like this is where it's kind of crazy.
The last week, the only teams that are going to win at home is UCF and Texas Tech. Everybody else wins, and then that puts 7 teams. Hit the calculate. This puts 7 teams at 6-3. Hold on a second. Did I mess that up?
6 teams at 6-3.
Maybe I messed that up. Oh,
Arizona State has to lose, right?
I think so.
If Arizona State loses to Arizona, then there's
That's
7
right.
teams at 6-3.
That's
but really,
right.
it doesn't matter for that game because K-State would get in there with all the tiebreakers over the other teams.
Right. But I'm just saying but
it's not
what
likely.
Would be
it's not likely.
But if Arizona State loses to Arizona, the Big 12 title game would be K-State versus West Virginia.
Wait. Say that again. Say that again.
Arizona beats Arizona State. The Big 12 title match would be
K-State versus Texas Tech.
Texas Tech. I have West Virginia and K-State in this. I don't know what. I guess I must have put up a different scenario or something.
Let's go back. Let's go back and pick a realistic one here for everyone watching.
Okay. Well, okay. This is a more realistic scenario, right? Because I don't think
for K-State
going to. This is the most likely scenario for K-State to make it to the Big 12 championship game.
Okay.
BYU has to win out. Kansas has to win out.
Okay.
Colorado has to lose out.
Okay. Oh, nope. Okay.
And K-State has to win out.
Okay.
And also, last but not least, hold on. Okay, there you go.
So K-State would get in over all the other 6-3 teams.
That's correct. That is the K-State has to win out. Kansas has to win out because if KU doesn't beat Baylor, then Baylor goes in over K-State. That's why KU has to win out.
Does it really? Let's check. Let's check.
Yes, it is correct.
You are right. They would get in over K-State. You are right. So we need KU to win out, and we need basically. Does it matter? Okay, let's see what happens here.
If that happens, then K-State doesn't make. Oh, I guess they do make.
Okay, so even if BYU loses, okay, we would need basically Arizona. This is a lot, dude. We need Arizona State to lose out or BYU to lose out, and I don't think that's happening. Let's do a realistic one really quick. You picked BYU. I picked Arizona State. We'll do mine first. Arizona State, Baylor, Colorado, K-State, Texas Tech, TCU, Iowa State, West Virginia. Okay. Last week, UCF, Colorado, Arizona State.
I could see Utah beating UCF maybe. I don't know.
Baylor's
it doesn't really matter.
I think Baylor's playing pretty good. Beating KU. BYU wins at home.
Wait. Does Baylor have are they would be bowl eligible without the win over Kansas, right? Because
they're
Kansas,
already bowl eligible. They're 6.
Okay, they're already bowl. Like I have Kansas beating Baylor because they would need to be bowl eligible. I feel like they just have more to play for. I don't know.
They'd have to beat Colorado this week to be bowl eligible, and both of us picked Colorado.
That's right.
To win,
okay, yeah. So. If they lose, yeah, you're right. If they lose, then they're probably just gonna say F it.
TCU probably wins there. Iowa State's probably going to beat K-State, and Texas Tech is probably going to beat West Virginia. Let's take a look at the most likely standings. Colorado gets in at 8-1. Arizona State, Iowa State, BYU are all 7-2, but Arizona State would get in over both Iowa State and BYU. Okay, let's take a look at this really quickly, Lou. If Colorado
BYU wins. Now let's see what happens there. Okay. Yeah.
BYU versus Colorado because they both go 8-1.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's get crazy. Arizona State wins. KU wins. So everyone is 7-2. There'd be 4 7-2 teams, and both BYU and Colorado would not get in based off of tiebreakers
because
they beat
that because Iowa State would if they lose to Utah, that it solidifies like Colorado getting in or something like that.
No, it's because Arizona State beat KU and K-State.
Right.
Iowa State would have beaten K-State but lost to KU. BYU would have lost to KU and beat K-State. And Colorado would have lost to both KU and K-State. So that's why they'd be 4. But still, I feel like the most likely scenario is Colorado getting in.
Yeah. And just
again,
for everybody
I mean, these 3 teams are, man, someone's going to be pissed.
Just for everybody watching, I mean, like, this is just for fun, like we're not thinking that this is actually possible. And we are definitely not putting any money for K-State to make it to the Big 12 title game. It's just not going to happen. But in a crazy universe where things are going to somehow line up, that's the pathway, I guess you could say, to K-State making the Big 12 title game is if everybody does lose. Yeah, Brooklyn Bay, or Brooklyn Boy, you're not wrong here. We need a lot of teams to lose. We need K-State to win out. It's just not possible. It's just not possible in a realistic world.
Things to happen. We need 6 things to happen. We need BYU to lose. We need
or win.
Yeah, fine. Let's try that.
We need BYU to win out, KU to win out, Colorado to lose out, and K-State to win out. That's it.
No, it's not letting me do it anymore. But that's a tiebreaker scenario right now for the Big 12, man. There's lots of crazy things that could happen, but it's not looking good for K-State. I do think it's looking pretty good for Colorado if they can win against KU.
Yeah. If Colorado, this would be disaster if Colorado loses to KU and Arizona beats BYU. That is disaster for the conference. Disaster, because like you said, 4 teams at 7-2 is a likely scenario, and that's not good. That is not what Brett Yormark wants to have in his conference. He does not want that. The wet dream for Brett Yormark is to have Deion Sanders in Arlington at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. That would be a wet dream for him.
I agree. They want Colorado there. They probably want BYU too, honestly, because BYU has a ton of fans.
Exactly. Those are the 2 best, I would say, marketing products that we have. I would be shocked if Colorado, I said this last podcast, I would be absolutely shocked if they do not make the Big 12 title game. And also, I think that they have the best chance in the playoff to give, I don't think BYU's offense is good against the other conferences. No way. I think Colorado has a fighter's chance of actually making some noise in the college football playoffs. Do I think that they're going to get far in the playoff? Probably not, because the other conferences are just better. They just are. And it's unfortunate. Steve, you're muted. It's just unfortunate that they are, but it is what it is. I mean, everybody's you could talk a big game with Deion, with Deion's kids and Travis Hunter. Like, Travis Hunter, best college player, and Shedeur is the best quarterback, probably going to be the number 1 drafted quarterback in the draft, NFL draft. But it is a team game. Okay, we're not denying that those are probably the best weapons in college football, but it is a team game, and I just think Colorado as a team falls short against these other top teams in their conference, like Oregon, Iowa State, Georgia, Alabama. They're gonna even mid-tier teams of the SEC,
Ohio State is what you meant, I'm sure. Yeah,
Ohio State, yes.
Yeah, Will Howard, we are rooting for you. We are rooting for you.
That's right.
But the SEC is crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yep. It's been a crazy year with college football. It just really has been. Yeah.
Are you ready to play this game?
Let's play this game. We don't have too much time, but
no, we do not. But we have about 5 minutes. Okay. So here's a game, Kenny. We're gonna do a new game every week. involving Big 12 teams, trivia, all of that. Are you ready to hear what the game is today?
I'm so bad at trivia. Here we go.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you how long you're going to need after I tell you the rules. So you have to guess either the team or the player based off of their starting quarterback's initials. And it's going to steadily get harder. How long do you think you need to be able to guess all 16 quarterbacks and or teams?
Like I'm getting timed for this?
You only get like, I'm thinking a minute and a half is good. I'm thinking a minute and a half is good.
Oh my God. Okay, yeah.
Or
A
do you
minute,
want,
30 seconds.
do you want a minute and a half or 2 minutes? What do you prefer?
I'll go 2 minutes. We'll just go an even 2 minutes.
Okay.
I'm going to suck so bad at this.
All right. We are starting the timer right now. AJ.
K-State.
SS.
You
can say pass.
Pass.
JD.
JD. KU.
JR.
Oh my God. Pass.
SL.
Arizona State.
AB.
AB. I pass.
NF.
NF, like
Yes. NF. N as a no.
kind
of just gave it away.
No, I don't know. Pass.
RB.
Oh my God. Rocco Becht.
Yes. GG.
Garrett Green.
Yes. BM.
I don't know. Pass.
IW.
IW. Isaac
30,
Wilson.
30 seconds. Yes. BS.
Brandon Sorsby.
Yes. JH.
JH. Pass. Son of a gun.
ZC.
ZC.
There's only one of the name start of the Z.
I don't know. Pass.
SW.
Shador Sanders. All right. Shador Sanders was the SS.
Right, are you ready? Are you ready to see your results?
Damn it! I needed more time than 2 minutes. I needed like 4 minutes.
All right. Well, we can add on. Should we do 2 more minutes?
2 more minutes and give me the ones that I missed.
Okay. Well, we haven't even got through all the quarterbacks, so restarting the timer right now.
Okay.
JH. We already said. Okay. SW.
SW. I can't. Pass.
DR. This is the hardest one.
DR.
Yes. He's currently their starting quarterback. He wasn't earlier. They've used several.
DR.
Think of a team that used a bunch of quarterbacks.
Yeah. It's UCF, right?
Yes. Okay. Back to the top.
Okay.
SS.
Shador Sanders.
Yes. JR.
I'm gonna pass.
AB.
I think this is Alan Bowman, right?
Yes.
Okay.
NF. N as in no. NF.
Oh, no Fafita.
Yes. BM. 55 seconds left.
BM.
You have 11 out of 16 right now.
BM. Pass.
JH.
JH. Is it Texas Tech? No, it's not Texas Tech. That's BM, right? BM is Texas Tech.
Yes. What's
Oh,
JH?
okay. JH. I don't know. Baylor.
No. 20 seconds
Okay.
left. ZC.
ZC. What teams have not picked yet?
Another
ZC.
team that's used a couple quarterbacks. 10 seconds.
ZC.
SW.
Houston. SW.
Yes.
Yes. Houston.
All right. Here we go. Okay. AJ, Avery Johnson, SS, Shadur Sanders, JD, JD6, Jalen Daniels. JR was Jake Retzloff. You did not get that.
Oh, BYU. How did I not guess that?
Here, hold on. Let me share this. Hold on.
Oh man, that was dumb. I was dumb for not guessing that. Of course.
Okay. SL Sam Levitt, AB Alan Bowman, NF Noah Fafita, RB Rocco Beck, GG Garrett Green, BM is Baron Morton, IW Isaac Wilson, BS Brendan Sorsby, JH Jake Hoover, TCU.
Oh, TCU. Oh man, what am I thinking here? Okay.
ZC Zion Chris from Houston.
Houston, yep.
SW Sawyer Robertson. Oh shoot, I messed that up. We'll give you. We'll say it's out of 15.
That's Baylor. Yeah, that was Baylor.
Yes, and DR Dylan Risk. Okay. How many did you get right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 out of 15. The only ones that you missed were Jake Retzloff and Jake Hoover. The other one was my fault.
Yeah, the Jake Retzloff. I mean JR. It just for whatever reason I was not thinking Retzloff when I thought of R. I was thinking of Roberson, and I was like, wait, but his Roberson is not the first name is not J. I was like Jake Roberson.
I messed that up. First time playing a game. I'll get better. We'll get better. Did you have fun?
That was pretty good. I mean, I actually was surprised with how many I got. I did not think I definitely needed 4 minutes though, for sure.
Yeah, we should probably do 5 minutes from now on. If we're gonna do all 16 on something like that. But we're gonna do something different every week. We're gonna do something different. I have another idea for next week. Maybe Kenny will come up with something too, but this is mostly going to be Kenny answering the questions because I feel like he's a better personality to be answering questions than I am.
I am not good at trivia though, but I was happily surprised that
you did really good. You did really good. I don't know how I messed that up. I really don't, but I did. So,
you're a teacher. You're a teacher. So really quick, what was my grade? 13 out of 15.
That's got to be like an A minus, B plus. Let's look. 86%.
B plus or a B, an average B.
I'm going to ask you something really quickly, and then we'll get out of here. K-State's playing tonight. We know that. But they're also playing in the Paradise Jam coming up over the next week or so. Yes or no, does K-State win? Win the whole thing. And I'm going to tell you the other teams here in just a second.
I'll say no. I'll say no.
You'll say no? Okay. Let's see here.
It's too early in the season. They haven't gelled yet. Clearly, they're not gelling very, very quickly.
Wait until you see the field, though, dude. Wait until you see the field. Here it is. I
mean, I know we were told already that the teams are not crazy, but
UAB, George Washington, Illinois State, K-State, Liberty, Longwood, Louisiana, and McNeese. So not great. Not great.
Not a great lineup. There aren't any quote unquote sexy teams in this tournament, but I just don't see K-State winning the whole thing. If they do, then that would be great.
I'm picking K-State to win it because this field is terrible. If K-State doesn't win this, there's a real problem with this program. There's a real problem with this program if K-State doesn't win. So, yeah, that's what I got. So,
quick question from Austin Patman. I think this is a pretty legit question. I do not believe that Lincoln Cure is going anywhere.
I agree.
Other than I think he's sticking with K-State. This is where he wants to go. And honestly, I've said this multiple times. With the amount of times that K-State has thrown touchdowns to tight ends, where in the world why would Lincoln go anywhere but K-State at this point? It seems to be the case where but there's probably going to be some OC changes after this year. I'm pretty sure
There has to be.
I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. But I would at least hope that Chris Kleiman says, you know what, we've got some pretty dang good tight ends. Let's keep at least that aspect of our offense in play still. And then looks like Orestes. Proud of you both picking CU to put out KU's fire. Hey, man.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of Colorado, but I hate KU. So
yeah, you're talking to K-State fans. There's one team that we can't stand above all, and that's KU. And we can at least acknowledge that they're a good football team. They've been impressive the last 2 weeks. I just don't know if that's going to carry over to Colorado, because Colorado has been very good since the K-State loss. When they lost to Nebraska, then they played Baylor, and then they played K-State. It's like, well, I didn't think Colorado was going to actually do as well as they have, but they have managed to play better and better and better every week. I know this might come off a little backhanded slappy or whatever, like a backhanded slap comment. I think Baylor is probably their most impressive win the whole season. I know that might come off a little, like a backhanded compliment, but it at this point, that is their most impressive win. Let's just call it what it is. Baylor is a good team now, and they're playing the best. If they beat KU, I would say that KU and Baylor are their best wins, and then obviously the best win is going to be the championship title game. You can't say that the other teams that they've beaten, UCF, Cincinnati, Arizona, none of those teams are good. I mean, good on you guys for winning and beating those teams, but those aren't good wins. The best wins that you've had so far are definitely Baylor, for sure.
I agree.
No, Baylor is underrated. They are way underrated, but
they're not underrated by us for sure.
No, not by us. Yeah.
Last thing, really quickly, and then we're gonna get out of here. K-State versus George Washington to open up the Paradise Jam on Friday. I don't know what the spread is going to be. George Washington is undefeated. I'm going to pick K-State to win 74-71. Kenny, what's your score?
I'll have George Washington winning. I'll say it's probably K-State gets 60. George Washington maybe 68.
Say that again. What's your score again?
68-60. K-State loses.
Okay. All right. Well, that's been the podcast here for KSU Nation. Kenny, is there anything else? Yes, they do. My wife is going to go to the game. I'm going to be watching.
You're not going to go to the game?
I'm not. She got a ticket from a friend. She's going to the friend. I'm going to be watching at home.
Nice. The comfort of your own house on that brand new sweet sofa you guys got.
Oh, dude, you haven't checked it out yet, have you?
I have not seen it in live.
Oh my God, dude. Okay, Iowa State game. You got to come over.
Well, Steve, it was a fun episode. Again, just want to shout out once more Tim Fitz for letting us come on the show last night. It was a lot of fun. If you guys have not checked him out, please do. He puts out great content, and he does basically all of K-State media. He does all the interviews. And if you want deep insight into K-State, he's the man to go to. Just want to say thank you guys so much for subscribing and watching. It means a lot to us. We're very, very close. We keep inching closer to that 1,000 subscriber mile marker, and that milestone it's ever so close. And we just thank you guys so much. We could not reach that without you. Clearly, we need everybody we can get.
Yes,
to
sir.
hit that subscribe button. So with that all being said, just got to say, go Big 12 and go Cats.